Hey everyone, this is Samuel Johnson.
And I'm Haley Dudley.
And welcome back to Lyoko Retrospectives. And today we'll be discussing episode 40 of Code Lyoko, Attack of the Zombies. Short version, it's the Code Lyoko equivalent of the zombie apocalypse. Essentially, in this episode, Xana's latest scheme is to possess Kiwi, which he's possessed animals before, as we saw with him controlling the horde of rats and the hornets. But with Xana's typical possessions with this season, his possession of Kiwi comes with a few extra abilities. In this case, the ability to zombify people, as anyone Kiwi bites turns into a raving zombie. Their skin turns greenish gray, their eyes go white, and they get claws, kind of like with Xana's facsimiles in his fake world. So pretty much, he ends up attacking Millie and Tamia. And of course, ends up turning Tamia into a zombie. At which point, after Millie sees this, she freaks out, runs to the cafeteria, warns everybody, and of course, no one believes her until more people start getting infected. As pretty much anyone who gets turned into a zombie can turn others into zombies. So we see more students and teachers get infected, and so as a result, everyone ends up getting boarded up inside the cafeteria. Well, almost everyone. Odd, Jeremy, and Aelita are the only ones that get locked in the cafeteria. When Millie came in and said that what happened to Tamia, Jeremy immediately did a deep scan, found a tower activated, and Ulrich managed to get out of there. Ulrich managed to get out of there, and ultimately, when they found the zombies, he went after Sissy, who went running when she saw them. And likewise, Yumi was with her parents, so she headed straight to the factory. So. Yeah, about 3/5 of the group are trapped in the cafeteria, while the rest are on the outside trying to deal with the zombies. So, pretty much it's just a kind of a zombie apocalypse episode, so to speak. So,
long story short, Yumi and Aelita ended up getting to the
factory.
And...
they managed to get to Lyoko. The zombie Ulrich managed to help get Sissy to the cafeteria, but. Unfortunately, lets the zombies in, which gives Jeremy and Aelita the opportunity to get out. Odd didn't get out because the Xana-possessed Kiwi got into the cafeteria and bit him, which I kind of like that. It still shows Xana smart thinking. He knows about Odd's connection to Kiwi since he's his dog, and so all Xana had to do was just let Odd get close, bite him, and then suddenly you just see the Xana-possessed Kiwi smiling, just as he just strolls away while Odd turns into a zombie. But yeah, bottom line, Yumi, Aelita, and Jeremy get to the factory. Jeremy sends them both in, and from there it's just standard Lyoko fare. As pretty much Sissy, Millie, and Ulrich are and any of the other kids they're trying to fend off the zombies, and just them trying to deal with the factory. So yeah, it's just the standard Lyoko fare from there on out. So yeah, what do you think of the episode?
I mean, I thought it was a good episode. I'm not typically a fan of zombie stuff, just because, I feel like it's something that's overdone a lot, but I enjoyed it. They weren't just mindless zombies. They were zombies with a purpose. They were obviously trying to get into the cafeteria after, the group and everything. And it was pretty obvious that Kiwi, being possessed by Xana, had a very distinct goal in mind, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah.
I liked that too. Like, it's obvious that he wasn't just Kiwi, he was obviously smart. Like, he was obviously smart in thinking things through. Like, again, like I've been saying throughout the season, Xana has been crafting really smart plans, and possessing Kiwi is a good idea. Not just in spreading this virus, but also to get close to the group, because as I said, Kiwi is Odd's dog. So of course he's gonna naturally trust him. So, of course, when Odd does get infected, the Xana-possessed Kiwi's actually smiling and then just casually strolls away because he got what he wanted. And then when Jeremy is helping Yumi and Aelita to get to the activated tower, he's actively looking for them, and he actually finds the sewer grate and leads the zombies there. It's obvious that Kiwi is directing the zombies, keeping them in order, and while they are mindless creatures, they do have some capacity to plan. As you see, they try, at several points they try to get into the cafeteria when it suits them, but then step back when things don't go their way, ultimately striking when things start happening. Like when Sissy tries getting into the cafeteria, when they do manage to get in, they take the opportunity to storm in right there. So that ends up giving them an advantage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely also appreciate, Xana Xana was seconds away from winning,
As he usually is.
Yeah, but, I feel like it was just kind of brushed off, though, exactly how close he was, because Jeremy was bitten. Jeremy was turning into a zombie and was, you know, just seconds away from not being able to do the whole click to get Aelita back and Muni back. And
yeah, but thankfully he managed to have enough willpower to still activate the return to pass function, so it undid the damage. But I think so. I like that, and I'm kind of going on for that. Another thing I like about the episode is kind of building off from what happened last week, where we saw William actively working with the group to take on the crabs. When the zombie virus hits, he ends up taking a leader role. When everyone gets sequestered into the cafeteria, he immediately takes charge and just says, "We all gotta stay here. If we go out there, we will most likely get killed. We're safer in here. And if they even do get in, we'll have numbers on our side." Mm-hmm. While he does get aggressive about keeping this up, as Jeremy and Co try to leave, and he actively stops them, even to the point where he thinks that the whole Xana thing is crazy, which I think is weird concerning zombies, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but
it shows that he's more technically minded. He actually, when the crisis occurs, he's still trying to keep focused and keep everything together. While at the same time, I feel like they should at least be prepping to fight the zombies, because safe is one thing. Mm-hmm. When you're facing a zombie horde, you need to be able to fight back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I appreciate how he took a leadership role, and he was like, "I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna make it through this together, guys." And like, he seemed to be prepping for, end of world, this is not going to go our way type of mentality, while everyone else is like, it's gonna be fine, everything's great, we got this, we can fix this, no problem, you just have to let us do what we want to do. But it wasn't until they started doing what they want to do that everyone else got infected.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it also helps that he actually did try and find ways to alert the proper authorities. He did call the cops. Ultimately, the cops thought it was just a prank, as when they go to investigate the school, all they do is talk to this one guy who openly admitted, I've been with my garden all day, so I don't know what's going on out here. And he says, I didn't see anything, and they just assume it's all a joke. Mm-hmm. As the cops seem to be idiots. Yeah. Like last week, when a crab attacked, they sequestered off the street that it was on. Though, in their defense in that case, they heard the incidents of another crab at Caddock, so they had no reason to believe it wasn't the same one, but at least keep an officer by.
Yeah.
And this one, all they hear is one guy say, I didn't see anything, and they're like, yeah, it was a prank, bye.
And then the murder swarm.
Yeah, immediately the zombies converged on this one guy, pretty much just blocking off the exit, so no one could get out.
I thought it, I know this is, a nitpicky thing, and that seems to be what I usually end up picking at, but, they're trapped in a cafeteria, and no one thought to barricade the doors. No, they have lunch tables and chairs and, equipment, and they could actually defend themselves and actually make a blockade at the very least. And instead, they use the chairs like weapons, but not as hitting weapons, as pushing weapons.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of a problem. One of the comments I'll give to the episode is, I like the tone with it. Mm-hmm. I actually did kind of like the zombie apocalypse moment, because you do feel like that there's no safe place in this entire school with the zombie hordes walking around. Mm. So you got to think carefully and smartly in order to get around them and get to the actual safe spots. So I liked that, and the whole sequestering in the cafeteria thing, that makes sense. You need to have a place where you need to have a safe haven where you can plan out and do everything. But like you said, they don't do anything against the zombies when they appear. When Odd gets infected, they at least have the good nerve to restrain him, gag him, tie him up, make sure he is not a threat. But when they know that the zombies are gonna get in, because at one point they prepare for one final assault, they don't barricade the doors and windows. And when they do get in, they're holding up chairs, but none of them ever just start whacking them. Before you say, well, they're their friends and teammates, they're friends and teachers, to which I respond with, they're friggin' zombies! I think they'll forgive you!
I'm sorry I'm telling you this now, Sam. If you ever came at me and looked like you were a zombie trying to kill me, then I will happily beat you until you stop.
I'm a little offended, but I'm understandable. I feel like if the situation was reversed, though, I'd probably be more emotionally stunted. Admittedly, because if it was you, I think if I saw you as a zombie, I feel like I would freeze up
Oh.
And then I'd have to, if I had to hit you, I'd have to close my eyes.
I mean, I will say I'm sorry as I'm doing. Like, I will beat you with a fry pan and say I'm sorry while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But my fight or flight response is strongly geared towards survival.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I feel like one of those two reactions should be what they're having, actually.
Yeah.
Like, either defend yourself or maybe hesitate a little. But they don't even... Okay, maybe there was some hesitation, because maybe there was some hesitation, but at the very least, they are freaking zombies!
But,
You
like,
saw what they do to people!
They're standing there with these chairs,
They're
like
not
they're ready to
doing
attack.
anything!
They push them in, and then when the zombies grab the chairs, they don't let go. They go with the chair.
No, like, when the zombies grab the chairs, they just immediately lose their grip instead of actually fighting back. At the very least, even if you don't want to hurt them, you can at least try and push them back aggressively, but they don't even do that.
Mm-mm.
Maybe there was like one time almost when Sissy had a chair, but that was barely anything. She like did a slight push and then they took it away.
Uh-huh.
It's like if I did this to you and your response was not yeah, like that.
No.
Like that. That's yeah.
No.
Or better yet, it's like if I did this. It's like if I did this and then you slap me and I just turned away like this.
Cower in pain. It's
Exactly.
okay.
They do nothing. Abso-friggin-lutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Well, I like the feel of that. Unfortunately, they don't really have a lot in the way of survival instincts, is what we're saying.
Mm-hmm. Like, left to their own devices, they would starve in the woods and die.
Yeah. Again, there are still good aspects about it. I like it. They do, like, William, I like seeing him go into the leader role. I like seeing the groups I like seeing them have to kind of, I like seeing the environment and seeing I actually do kind of like seeing the zombies, as they actually are pretty scary, and like I said, they do kind of resemble the Xana facsimiles that Xana created in this one episode. Oh yeah, Ghost Channel. It's where the Lyoko kids, when they, after solving a problem, thought they were back on Earth, but it turns out they were all still trapped in Lyoko in a virtual copy of of Kadek.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, so I like seeing that, and again, it still shows Xana as being smart and being tactful. I like it when he possessed Kiwi and tried to, and began getting close to people, because when you see a dog, when you see a dog, you probably would kind of turn away, and based on Millie and Tamiya's reactions, everyone knows that Odd has Kiwi, so they're probably not going to mark him as a threat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very obvious, like, that the way that Xana was using Kiwi, it was very obvious that it was being done very purposefully.
Yeah.
And it was almost like it was just Xana moving independently rather than an animal possessed by another being. Because he had a goal in mind and he was working towards it. Like, he was literally sitting in the hallway, everything's fine and great, wagging his tail, panting, waiting for someone to come up and pet him for his first infection.
Yeah, exactly. And he did the same thing with Odd. Like we said, he got into the cafeteria, let Odd get close to him, then he bit him, smiled, and then turned away. Because he got what he needed there. And then when he was looking for the entrance to the factory, he was sniffing around, and you could just see the anger and snarl, and you could see the anger when he snarled when they found the entrance to the factory. Because he knew that they were probably down there, and they were probably getting ready to screw with him. That is still smart.
I will say that two things. One, when Sissy was trying to get into the cafeteria and they're like, "Prove you're not a zombie." Like, she's talking in full
Herb was
sentences.
but to be fair, Herb's a dick.
Yeah,
we have established he's a dick. He has a crush on Sissy, but he's a dick.
Okay, well, let's also establish the time to be a dick is not during the zombie apocalypse. It is beforehand, or when the zombies are all dead.
Yeah, well, Herb is
when being chased.
Yeah, well, we've seen in other episodes that even in times of crisis, Herb's a dickweed.
Yeah, well, anyway, but that and it's kind of, plot holy, but, like, the whole, like, Jeremy was basically transformed. Sitting in his chair, basically gone, and then it's like, I need up.
I would disagree with that as a criticism. We've seen... Jeremy's affection for Alita is strong, so I could probably see him actually doing that. Being able to at least resist enough to at least get it in motion.
I get that, but then when we saw it with Odd, which Odd Odd cares a lot about his friends.
Yeah.
And, like, it was instantaneous of he was bit, oh my gosh, and then he was attacking people. Like...
again, but to be fair... Jeremy and Aelita have romantic feelings for each other. Odd probably just cares about each of them closely, but I don't think he sees any of them romantically.
Okay, yeah, but why does the warm and fuzzy feelings in your tum-tums make a difference?
Because the power of love, okay? Because the power of love.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll accept that.
So...
but that's everything for me, I think.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I liked the whole setup with the zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
I loved them as an actual force. I liked seeing the characters acting smart to a degree, like with William.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, a little more minor thing. It's another example of seeing Sissy not being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
As when the crisis is occurring, she actually is listening to the people in charge. She doesn't do much, but again, small things.
Mm-hmm.
But and again, I like seeing William being smart. I like seeing Xana being smart as taking advantage of Kiwi. And overall, actually, it's really good. Again, our biggest problems would probably be the lack of clarity with the kids, and just kind of some other small issues.
The fact that they're obviously kids.
Yeah.
The disappearing ground and the disappearing tower. When Xana played, he tricked Yumi and Aelita so that it looked like the tower and the ground was gone, going to the tower, so that it was just digital C, and so. They...
Yeah, well, to be fair, we've seen that Xana has that forethought in other episodes, too.
Well, yeah, but then, my thing is that we know that Xana has this power. This is a thing that's been established.
Yeah, you can screw with Lyoko.
Uh-huh, and they were fully prepared, Yumi was fully prepared to float Aelita over the digital sea to the tower, because Aelita could still see the tower. But, I just find it interesting, because just for the sheer fact that, we know Xana is bordering on tactical mastermind just for the sheer fact that he fails, it's just a learning opportunity. While these guys, they were so shocked to figure out that it was just invisible and it wasn't actually gone.
Oh yeah, at one point, at one point Yumi dropped Aelita,
mm-hmm.
but then Aelita landed on the invisible ground, and then even after Yumi gets devirtualized, Aelita's just sitting there wow.
Oh my gosh, it's ground!
Oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Cankerlight, gotta run.
Uh-huh, that...
Actually, that kind of led to a funny moment, as when Aelita ran into the tower, the Cankerlight was still following after her, and then just walked right into it and just fell over and started turning in a circle.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty cute.
Yeah, kind of humorous.
But the only reason that that I'm looking back at that and going because, Xana, we've established that he just keeps, coming up with new different plots. And they're just barely scraping by every time.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize how barely they're scraping by every time. And it just seems like he's...
it's always seconds away to death. Every time.
And every time, Xana doesn't seem worried. He doesn't seem concerned. This is just another attempt.
Well, to be fair, we have seen Xana angry, especially when his plans have failed.
Well, yes, but, that's more reaction angry, not, okay, I've managed to be horribly humiliated.
Gadget.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
Yeah. At least in my opinion, they barely win. He has to be toying with them at a certain point.
Sometimes it feels like
it.
Well, sometimes he is kind of toying with them. He just likes to screw with them for the sake of screwing with them sometimes. Sometimes he needs them. Other times he just kind of enjoys the thrill of it when he's hunting them. Xana's primary emotions, for me, and I think these are the ones that he should embody the most, are his anger, his loathing, and his schadenfreude. He hates people. He hates these kids. He loves seeing them in pain, but he gets pissed off if things go wrong.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
But I think that's everything.
Yeah. Overall, yeah. I think we talked about everything we like. We liked the episode. Perfectly fine. So, yeah. That's pretty much it then. Thank you for watching. I'm Samuel Johnson.
And I'm Haley Dudley.
And I'll see you next week. Take care.